Okay, so the first step in this ordering process is to create the quote in the portal. If the customer hasn't already done that for us, which is most of the time we end up having to do it for them. I think we have one customer just doing it by themselves so far. But in this case, we got a request from Emerson for Studio 5000 Professional perpetual license. So we're going to go to our commerce.rockwellautomation.com. I'm going to log in. Mine just logs in automatically. This should be the same as your knowledge base login, username and password. And for Studio 5000, you can see we can scroll down through here and see all the software that's available in here now. And you can see that FactoryTalk View SE is on here now. That will start migrating out of Proposal Works pretty soon. But down here, so we want to look at Studio 5000 Automation Engineering and Design Environment. This is where we go for the quoting for this. So okay, continue. Okay, so then we have, you can see the different options. We have a light with perpetual with maintenance or subscription, and then we have standard, professional, and then the legacy. And the legacy is an important one. We have to, if any customers want to order, if they call in and say they want Logix 5000, if they use the word Logix instead of Studio, that's usually a pretty good indicator. But either way, if they use Studio or Logix when they ask, we need to ask them if they're going to use version 20.04 or older, then we need to get them the legacy subscription, which is a subscription only. It's $4,000 a year to continue using that old software. So that's kind of an incentive for them to migrate to above version 20.04. Just an example, though, we are on version 32, so 20.04 is pretty old, so they do need to get bumped up. But in this case, we're going to go with Studio 5000 Professional. We're going to click there. And this user wants a perpetual license. So then we can see our price will be this for the license, and then they have a $1,500 support cost per year. That's included in the first year. They have to pay that, and then they can decide whether to keep it after that first year. And down here is where we would select the level of support. I usually default to the 8 to 5 Monday through Friday support. If they are really being price conscious, we can go down to the self-support, which is like knowledge base only. And if they need 24/7 support, we can go up to that. But I usually just default to this. And if they want the CD, we can add the $100 to it for the CD. That's right here. Down below here, you can see there's options that can be added to this. So we chose professional, so it's got just about everything already. But if they wanted to add emulate or things like that, they could do that. But we, in this case, we're only doing professional. It's got just about everything included in it, so we don't need to worry about that. So we're going to click Add to Cart. Now it's going to ask us whether we want to continue, just like you were shopping on Amazon or anywhere else. It's going to ask you if you want to check out or continue shopping. We're going to go ahead and check out in this case, but if you wanted to go add other software to the quote, you could do that. This is running a little slow today, so we're going to go ahead and check out. So here it gives us our pricing, our annual cost, which we can expand and see what's included in that annual cost. It's the support and the updates for the software. And then there's their one-time cost for the license. And there's our total. So let's go ahead and check out here. Next is the customer information. So in this case, Emerson's already in here, but let me just show you what we would do if we wanted to change this. We would click on address book and then change. From here, you can search by the customer, or you can click on add new address and search by their BPID. So let's see who this is. If we search here, comes up with Bear Healthcare. So that's somebody else that I've searched for recently. So you would add address, and then it would populate. But we want to leave it as Emerson for now, so we're just going to leave that there. You can see that it fills in their business partner, their BPID. In this case, the ship to is the same as the billing address, so we just leave that checked, and we hit next. This is running very slow. Does not normally take this long. Let me go ahead and pause the video so you're not sitting there. Okay, so the next page looks like this. This agreement start date, it just automatically defaults to today, whatever today is. So this is the date. If they were to buy the software today, their support contract would go from today to this date. Tells you the end date. Now they can lock in the support price for up to 5 years. So if they want to get this for 5 years and then the support price would not change for 5 years, they can do that. You can see it updates the pricing over here. But we're going to leave it at 1 year for just this example. And you can see right here, align with a previous order. That means under that BPID, there is already a support contract. So so they probably have a Tech Connect or a toolkit. In this case, I believe it's a toolkit. If we click that, it'll show what the contract number is. And it'll show, so this is the order we actually just did. But so it'll show this one. If you wanted to align this support contract with one that they already have, you could do that, and then it would be prorated. So if they only have 9 months left on this existing contract, they would only have to pay for 9 months on the new contract, and then they would both renew at the same time. But in this case, we'll leave it as select the agreement term for right now. Annual billing, or they can be billed quarterly or biannual. This is when the email will come from Rockwell saying, hey, your bill is due. Distributor, this one you want to make sure you get, because there are some customers towards Greensburg that will default to Greensburg on here because it goes by physical distance to the distributor. So I know like Premier, if you put an order from Premier, this may default to Greensburg. You want to make sure this is checked to Pittsburgh. The agreement number. So eventually this agreement, search agreements, if we were to click that, if they had any agreements under this BPID for the software, it would automatically fill in. That button does not work yet. It's supposed to work this month, maybe, they're telling us. But for now, we have to manually put the agreement in. I know they're on a toolkit. This is the toolkit agreement number, so we're going to put that in there. This is important because that's how they know to correct the price, the sell price to us according to that agreement. It will not change the pricing here. If you are doing this for a toolkit owner or somebody that has a software agreement, and you put the agreement in here, it is not going to change the price in this portal. So you do have to relay that to the customer that the price they see on this quote will not be the price they're charged by us. They will be charged what we quote them on Proposal Works or however you put their pricing out to them. So then we're going to click next. And again, I realize this is a lot to take in. I was hoping to do this via a meeting downstairs, and we will eventually, I hope. We'll go over any questions you guys have about this, but I figured this could get you guys something to refer back to and use, at least get you started. And I'm obviously still here to help, and so is Miranda, and so is Dan Wagner. He's a good resource for this. He's done a lot of these now, too. So there we go. We get to the final review. If they have incentive dollars, you can click this incentive amount, and it'll show incentive dollars available. They don't have any. Emerson doesn't. But if they wanted to use incentive dollars to pay for something, we can. It's pretty easy to do now. We can just put it in here. So there we go. Done and done. These two buttons down here. First, we want to click this, where it won't let us move forward. The agree to the terms. Temporary activations, I can do that. I'm not sure that you guys can. I don't know if you'll see this button when you log in under your account up here. But I can generate temporary activations for the customer. So if they need this software today, but we know that this process, quoting, accepting, getting approved by Rockwell is going to take a few days. We can give them a temporary activation that'll get them through. If they don't, they're just getting this for pricing. We know we're going to get the PO or whatever. We just hit generate quote. And normally, if they need temporary activations, you come ask me. I'll help you with that. You guys should just click on the generate quote. Okay, so it gives us our quote number, and kind of goes down through here. What this tells you is that Smith B. at Mosbaugh, the quote has been assigned to me. But now, we as distributors cannot go in and accept an order in the system. Our account, our Mosbaugh.com emails are tied to a distributor account, so we cannot buy software. The customer has to go in and do it. So this tells you right here, if somebody else is responsible for checking out, please assign them as the owner of this quote. They'll be prompted to complete the checkout separately. So what happens now is I will be emailed a PDF of this quote, so I have it for my records. But I want to go ahead in here and assign a quote to the owner. This is where you put the email of the person that's going to go in and accept it, and also this is going to be registered to them. So they're going to be the one that get the download link, everything from Rockwell. They're going to be the contact for this order. So make sure whoever it is, you put them in here, you make them aware of it. If it's their first time, we can walk them through going in and accepting the order. But they're going to get an email that's going to have a button in it, a clickable link in it that says go in and finish the order. And I believe I have an example of that I'll show you guys. But so you put that in here, you hit assign, and that's it. They take it from there on the next step. All right, so we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I wanted to show you this as the next step. This is the email you will receive from Rockwell with, if we open this up, this is a PDF of the quote we just created. So this you can keep for your records. And if you haven't already assigned an owner, which we did in the last step, you could click here and do that as well. There's also a way, if you come back over to the subscription page, if you go to your order history, you can see that they show up here and under my subscriptions here. Let's click that. If you haven't assigned a quote to an owner, if you just created it and you kind of just used it for pricing and you're waiting to see who's going to buy it at the customer, it'll be saved under my subscriptions. So as soon as this loads up here, I'll show you that. Okay, so you can see like these are the only quotation, these lab use are temporary licenses that I got. But these quotation onlys, those are ones that were quoted and then never assigned to another owner by me. So I could probably actually go in and delete a lot of these. But if you, okay, so we created this one today. This is our quote. We could go in and assign or view the owners here. See, it's assigned to me. I quoted this one. And I think, yeah, right here, assign quote. So this is how I could go ahead and assign that one. Assign that to another owner. So those are the two ways you can go back in. If you don't assign it to an owner right as soon as you create the quote, you can go back in and do it later. So anyway, back to the email. So that's the email you'll get from Rockwell, regardless if you assign the quote, when you assign the quote as the owner, you created the quote, so you're going to get this. The next step is the customer, whoever you assign as the owner, is going to get, let me find it. Here we go. And I have this PDF. I think I sent it out to you guys before. That's a software checkout for customers. They're going to get an email that looks like this. Okay, it's going to have a PDF of the quote. It's going to be say you've been assigned the owner of the quote by so and so, and then they can click this button here to check out online. When they check out online, it's going to take them right to the site. It's going to show them here's your price, blah blah blah. They just have to click accept the terms and whatnot and submit. Done. That's it. That's all they have to do. If they're purchasing it direct, they do have to enter a PO number, but we don't have anybody purchasing direct at this point. Customers, if they want to do a manual checkout, so if they don't have the ability to log in, or if they're having problems logging into the portal, they can do. So right here, the customer will not be required to log into the portal. They can click and initiate a manual checkout, which case Rockwell will contact them for the PO number and take care of it for them. I don't know how long that takes. That may get done the same day. I don't know. I haven't had anybody do that yet, but that is a workaround if they're having troubles getting logged into the portal for some reason. And then once they accept the order, they get this email telling them, thank you for your order. Your order is being processed, blah, blah, blah. And if they, so automatically every order through the portal has automatic renewal for the support. And it tells them that here. Your contract will automatically renew on this date. If you want to opt out of the automatic renewal, they do have to click here and do that. Okay, so then what happens on our end is we get an email that looks like this, and we'll go over that in a second. Okay, so once the customer accepts the order through the portal, we will get an email that looks like this. It'll come from Rockwell Customer Care, and it'll have this SAP quote number and saying that it's been approved. So what we do, the next step is to copy that quote number and come over to SAP, open up our customer relations. We're going to go to pricing and contracts and service contract quotes right here. And then this contract quotation ID, that's where we're going to paste that quote number. We'll hit search. Comes right up. So then we just want to open that up. The first thing you want to do is just down here under parties involved, we just want to expand that out and make sure that the registered to contact person, just make sure that name's correct. In this case, it's going to a guy at Emerson, so we know that. This should be the person that accepted the order through the portal. Their name should be in here. The contact person at the distributor, in this case, is me. And this is Leah is the who's at Rockwell we contact with any issues. So this all looks pretty good, so we're going to leave that alone. So the next step is up here. We're going to click Edit. And then, so Eric has sent me a PO. So here's our PO. Just has the cost on it, our cost, and here's our PO number. So I'm just going to grab that PO number. And back over here. We're going to put it right here under purchase order number. And then purchase order date. Right like that. And we're just going to click save. So now that's all in here. The last step, the next and last step is under more. We want to click accept. And we should see this approved change to 1 as soon as it's accepted. There we go. So it says 1. We're good. We're finished. Now it's in Rockwell's hands. The email should go out to the customer just like before. You'll see this error up here. This contact person belongs to a given organization. I literally get that just about every time I put one of these orders in, and it's never stopped the order from going through. So that must be an internal error on Rockwell that they need to fix. So that's it. It should be good to go. Any questions, let me know. Thanks.